Okay, briefly, two other poets I would like to talk about: Samuel Taylor Coleridge, who you see here, and later on Lord Byron. Samuel Taylor Coleridge, a Wordsworth friend, who published with him together the Lyrical Ballads, the most influential book, of course, in 1798. In these Lyrical Ballads, there's one poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, a long narrative, Gothic poem about a death ship, if you like. The story is the following, that the mariner who is telling his story, an ancient mariner, a sailor, okay, about his journey from England on a ship down across the equator down to the south, okay, and then being stuck in the ice there with his fellow mates. They are stuck in the ice and they can't go back and forth, and suddenly something comes, an albatross, a bird comes and plays with the mariner and with his friends and with the other sailors, and they regard this albatross, okay, as a sign from God that everything will be fine. But then the mariner does one thing: he shoots the albatross with his crossbow, and from there on everything turns wrong. Okay, they are freed from the ice, but they go back and they are stuck in a drought, okay, in a complete calm, no water, nothing at all. They start hallucinating, and then all the mariners drop dead, except for the speaker, who is forced to live there alone on this ghost ship, with all his dead companions. And then another ship comes, a ghost ship. And on this ghost ship, he first of all hopes it's rescuing him, but then he realizes this is a ghost ship run by two people, death and life in death. And those two play for the mariner's soul dice, okay? They play dice. And in the end, okay, he falls asleep, rain comes, his dead companions rise, ghosts, they don't live anymore, like ghosts, yeah, and evaporate. He comes home, the ship sinks, and then for the rest of his life he's forced to tell the tale of what happened to him. The poem is so important because it shaped popular culture like no other romantic poem ever did. Okay, today, without the ancient mariner, I don't know, you cannot talk about ghost ships. There are comic books, films, rock music. I mean, Iron Maiden made a song, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. A lot of others did. It's so well known and so influential, you cannot overestimate that. Okay, and it so often has been illustrated. So often, here, for example, you have Gustave Doré, interestingly a Frenchman, who Coleridge's contemporary, more or less, who illustrated The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Here you see the mariner and his dead companions. He stands there. Then the ghost ship which appears, okay, and where death and life and death are on later on. But this is the mariner, yeah, in the ice. But here, yeah, death and life and death are playing dice for the mariner's soul, okay. And here you see the mariner being tied to the mast, okay, so, and turbulent sea and all these things. Now, Gothic would certainly be completely different if it weren't for The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. A great, great, great narrative poem. And it's easy to be read. It's romantic. It's nothing compared to Milton or anything like that. And I just wanted to read a couple of stanzas to you, which sum up more or less what happens. This is the mariner speaking in his own voice after his companions had fallen, are dead, okay, and he is there to contemplate his loneliness. And just listen to it. I mean, how much poetic, how dark it is, and how deep it goes, and the vowels, and you hear his agony. Even if you did not understand what he is saying, you understand how he is saying that. Yeah, okay, from the onomatopoeia, from the rhetorics there. Okay, look at that. Alone, alone, all alone, alone on a wide, wide sea. And never a saint took pity on my soul in agony. The many men, so beautiful, and they all dead did lie, and 1,000 slimy things lived on, and so did I. I looked upon the rotting sea and drew my eyes away. I looked upon the rotting deck, and there the dead men lay. Well, okay. This is the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I will give a seminar on the Rime of the Ancient Mariner in due time. It's so great because, I mean, you can delve right into popular culture from here. Okay, one more. I would like to talk about this Lord Byron. Lord Byron, the first international superstar, I would say. Here you see good-looking images of Lord Byron. The last one even gives you an idea what it's about. It's Byron in Albanian costume. Okay, he is widely traveled. He traveled all over Europe, even to Albania, to Greece, to Turkey, to Italy, and so on. Made all influential people. He was an aristocrat. Okay, so he knew all kings and queens. He knew Ali Pasha even. Okay. He is the poet in England most overtly associated with Welshmerts, which, by the way, is an English word. Yeah, loads of German words came into English in Romantic times. Welshmerts. And Welshmerts is one aspect of Romanticism. So what is Welshmerts? I mean, Welshmerts basically is that you have a poet who has made all the experiences, who knows what the world should be like, he knows what the world is like, and this gap makes him despair. I mean, most of all, people are corrupt. I mean, they have all disappointed him, and all he can do is to withdraw from society. And here we go, Romanticism again, probably most likely go into nature, become a hermit or something like this. Yeah, it makes you, Welshmerts, this sort of wallowing in your own misery. And think of Werther in German, okay, or of the German Welshmerts poet number one, who is Heinrich Heine. And I just wanted to read this poem with you because this expresses Welshmerts very well, okay. Die alten bösen Lieder, die Träume schlimm und arg, die lasst uns jetzt begraben. Holt einen großen Sarg. Hinein leg ich gar manches, doch sag ich noch nicht was. Der Sarg muss sein noch größer, wie's Heidelberger Fass. Und holt eine Totenbahre von Brettern fest und dick, auch muss sie sein noch länger, als wie zu Mainz die Brück. Und holt mir auch 12 Riesen, die müssen noch stärker sein, als wie der heilige Christoph im Dom zu Köln am Rhein. Die sollen den Sarg forttragen und senken ins Meer hinab, denn solchem großen Sarge gebührt ein großes Grab. Wisst ihr, warum der Sarg wohl so groß und schwer mag sein? Ich legt auch meine Liebe und meinen Schmerz hinein. Heinrich Heine. Okay. And this sort of, this is what Byron cultivated in England. Okay, this sort of wallowing in his own misery. And then there's one thing with Byron, that people did not distinguish anymore between Byron, the real person, and Byron, the speaker of his poetry, or the persona of his poetry. Okay, that they were one, and this made him such a fascinating creature. I mean, this is for the first time that the artist and his work were not kept distinct anymore. Here is one stanza of Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, which expresses that. It's difficult to read just a few images here. It starts, he who grown aged in this world of woe in deeds, not years, piercing the depth of life. Yeah? So he is old in deeds, what he experienced, not in years. Okay, this is very Byronic. Yeah? Your experience, Byron had them all, yeah? Being an aristocrat, all the parties, all the women, he had them all. And he says, I've experienced it all, and I'm old in deeds, not in years. And I pierced the depth of life. So that no wonder waits, nor below can love or sorrow, fame, it should read, ambition, strive, cut to his heart again with a keen knife. Okay. So nothing means anything anymore to him. He had it all: love, sorrow, fame, ambition, struggle and strive. Nothing can cut to his heart anymore. Everything is done. Okay. And what remains to do? He can tell why thoughts seeks refuge in lone caves. So withdraw to lonely caves, because this is all you can do. Okay. Rife with airy images. That's the imagination. Airy images. Okay, so go into nature, imagine things. Imagination is the key word here. But, I mean, real life doesn't hold anything in store anymore. And shapes which dwell still unimpaired, though old, in the soul's haunted cell. Haunted. Okay, the soul is haunted and all that. Yeah, this is Byron, the first international superstar. Why? He was a superstar, even more in Germany than he was in England. Okay, Goethe sagte, nur ich alleine lasse ich neben mir gelten. People learned English just because of Byron, because he was so fascinating. He was the rock star persona. If there was a first rock star, it was Lord Byron. But the precondition is that for a rock star, you have to couple his works and his life. And this is what we do with rock stars today, or with film stars and so on. We are interested in their lives. I mean, nobody before Byron would be interested in Wordsworth's life or Milton's. We're interested in his work, that's it. But today, this interest in the poets, in the superstar's life, in his persona, this is new, and Byron is the first one who created that. And is also famous for creating that, the Byronic hero. Okay, up to the present day, we speak of the Byronic hero. And who's that? A sort of anti-hero, if you like. But yeah, it's this sort of human being, man, who is probably something like about 30, 40 years old, who has made all the experience in the world, had all the women. They don't mean anything anymore. And most obviously, who had probably committed a crime in his life. There's a bit of a dodgy character. Not a very nice person. I mean, he has committed a smaller crime, probably, something like that. Byron was always rumored that he had killed somebody. Okay, that made him very romantic. Yeah? And then he has a challenge in the end, this man. A moral challenge. And he just doesn't give a damn. Okay, but in the end he does the right thing and probably perishes. Yeah, most likely. I mean, most often he dies then in the end. I mean, he does a good thing at the end of his life and then dies. I mean, just think about modern Hollywood without this character. Okay, you have them, all Western movies. Or think of Casablanca. It's a film, if you haven't watched it, watch Casablanca, because the greatest film of the 1940s. I mean, Casablanca, Humphrey Bogart, who is the Byronic hero. Okay, loved one. I mean, he had all the women. He had all the women in his life, but there's only one woman he loved, Elsa Lund, and she is gone. Okay, nothing means to him anymore. Okay, nothing. In the end, I mean, yes, he has this challenge. He doesn't give a damn who wins or not, but he does the right thing and kills the Nazi. Okay, here we are. This is the Byronic hero, okay, and this is Byron's legacy. And so you cannot overestimate Byron. His impact on popular culture is immense, on popular imagination. Oscar Wilde wouldn't be thinkable without Lord Byron. Really, the only thing is, I mean, Byron only wrote very long narrative poems, but there's one poem you should read. Read Don Juan, where he mocks everything. It's a satire where he makes fun of everybody and everything. But he could afford to, being an aristocrat. Wordsworth couldn't, but he could. He was a member of the House of Lords. He could do whatever he liked. Okay, that makes him so fascinating. Okay, this was Lord Byron. And this was Romanticism.